Well, it is, but I'm not willing to play that game anymore because we're supposed to be a team. If you don't agree with it, now's your chance to step up and say something. When we started the process, you didn't say anything. So we all were all on the same page. So I don't remember what the original question was, but I just started rambling and started talking about it.
So where the TBD is not in place this year?
Well, we have a transportation benefit district. It's not funded.
Right, gotcha.
So, and my goal on that this year, if that would have passed, I would have taken every bit of money and put it into the transportation system. So,
instead of the police department?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely,
I mean,
because that's you're almost lying to the community. When I was upfront and honest about what we were doing with the money in 2016, in 2017, absolutely not, because you're saying that I was doing a bait and switch last time when I was completely upfront and honest and transparent about it. I'm going to be completely transparent with you this time. I'm going to put over $500,000 in the transportation system now. So now what do you have to say? So we'll try it your way. We'll raise property taxes, and that didn't pass either. But there was also no effort that was put forward. 12 votes. 12 votes. I keep saying $30 investment in some signs and a couple of yards around town, we would have had it.
Right.
And those guys would be seeing the effect of that. We all would. We would all benefit from that, but there was no effort.
Well, so there's obviously, I know you know this, but there's a Councilmanic way to put a transportation benefit district fee in that's been used in some areas around here. Has your council talked about just implementing a $20 car tab?
I don't support it. I flat out do not support that at all. I believe that by doing that, and everybody does it differently. That's not the way that I want the city ran, but it's not up to me if they do that. But I will be extremely vocal if the district gets together and tries to do that. It doesn't bring in that much revenue for the city of Woodland. I want to say it's like $30,000 or so, something very small.
So sales tax was way different for you.
$263,000 for 0.2%. And everybody that's buying something that's using our roads, we've got about 7,500 to 8,000 people that live on the outskirts of Woodland. What are they using? They're using our roads.
And they wouldn't be paying under the $20 car tax.
And they're not paying under that. So we're taxing the people that live within the city limits for everybody else that's using the system. I don't agree with that at all. We have a large low-income population too within our city, so we have to be mindful of that. How is this going to affect it? I don't want people to choose to register their vehicle so they can get to work, so they can put food on the table when we're not going to eat for a week because I had to go register the car so I can get to work. I mean, that doesn't make sense to me. I don't think that makes sense to a lot of people. When you look at larger cities, maybe it is beneficial for them to do that. I just don't believe that the city of Woodland should be doing that.
Have you had any work done on trying to help you decide what your level of spending should be on your street system?
We're working on that. We just depleted a lot of our funds by repaving Old Pacific Highway between where the police department is all the way down to exit 22. That was one of the worst roads inside the city. So by doing that, we've got a lot of positive feedback on that. It was well overdue. We tried to get a grant for it. We couldn't. We weren't able to obtain that, but it's what we can provide. It's what we can do. So basically what we're doing, we're trying maintenance the best we can, and we're putting Band-Aids on things. So again, it comes down to trying to develop that plan on how we're going to get there, how we're going to fix everything, how we're going to fix the roads, especially on the west side of town, which is our older part of town. How are we going to fix that? A lot of the streets don't even have sidewalks. So we're trying to get sidewalks so it's safer for kids to walk to school or to go out and walk your dog, whatever it may be. It's a very difficult balance at times.
Well, I kind of made you wait to tell us about the park part at the half.
That's
we're
the good
getting
news.
Close to the end, so let's wrap it up on something like that.
So good news is, so just before I came out here, I was at City Hall, and Mrs. Sandy Larson, if you're familiar with those that are watching and yourselves, she's a huge advocate and driving force between the Scott Hill Park, behind the Scott Hill Park project and sports complex, along with Rotary, but she's the one that's been out there driving this thing. They've been driving it for about 8 years. So we were able to give her her first permit today. We handed it off to her and said, go forth and do good things. So they now are able to start moving dirt up there. They have a permit for that. So when we talk about the pool and people thinking that things are never going to happen, this is happening. Good. And so when we talk about the casino and getting on board with it, it's like, you may not agree with it, but there's got to be some benefit somewhere. Get engaged. This is happening, and people are going to start seeing something tangible, especially with that park right now.
Total scope of that project financially is?
That's a big number, and I'm not in charge of that project. Okay. We just own the land, so that's a great question for Rotary.
Yeah, it was a big number for a small Rotary club.
Yeah, and we're very thankful for the state stepping up and everyone who's contributed to the project, especially the state, and backing that project and partnering with us. So we're thankful. It's been a long time, but we're excited. We're going to start moving some dirt now and get the project going.
Okay.
You've already had a council meeting in 2018. What other positive things are we going to see out of the city?
How much time do I have?
30 seconds.
About 40 seconds.
No, that's it. Well, I can tell you that we are doing a council and public and planning commission meeting workshop next Saturday or next Monday evening, which is fantastic. That hasn't happened since 2014. So we're going to bring them back together to make sure we're driving the city in the right direction and vision. I've got a lot of things. Business growth. The city of Woodland's open for business. Well, I just had a wonderful conversation with Erica Rodman, who's going to be taking over as president of the business chamber.
Cool.
We're both very ambitious with getting the city on track. The city of Woodland is open for business. We just have some internal mechanisms that need to be fixed. And I think once we get there, we're going to be a driving force in the region, and people should be aware of that.
Absolutely.
We're going to be taking over the world.
All right. Worldland.
Yes.
Well, Mayor, try and be a little more positive next time you come.
Absolutely.
Maybe.
Thank you very much.
No,
for
thank
being
you for
here.
having me. I appreciate it.
David, I always save the last question
Sure.
for you, and I believe you know the answer.
I believe.
Who
I know
is
the
our
question.
guest next week?
Next week, we'll have the newest Superior Court judge from Cowlitz County, Ann Cruiser, joining the show. Look forward to talking to her and finding out what her new gig involves.
Yeah, that'll be fun. For David, I'm Barry, thanking you very much for watching and learning all about Woodland today. Thank you, Mayor Will, for being
Thank
here
you.
again. Please tune in next week. We're going to find out about the courts. So, same channel, same time. For David, I'm Barry. Thanks for watching tonight. We'll see you next week.